MetaCartel Ventures was actually the first Moloch DAO/LAO version 2 implementation. And it launched shortly after Moloch DAO version 2. It was formed to make investments in dApps and the Ethereum ecosystem on a for-profit basis. And this is the first time we're starting to see a focus on, maybe not the first time, but one of the most prominent times we're starting to see a focus on for-profit investments. The competitive edge that they had, these were some of the most prominent dApp builders. And their claim to fame is that at least they have asymmetric information and operational insight in this space. And if you look through the list of MetaCartel Ventures members, they are the who's who of the Ethereum and kind of DeFi ecosystems. The legal structure that they use is called the Grimoire, and it's a variation of the LLC structure that was brought forth in Moloch DAO. But the idea is that fiduciary duties were actually waived because of rage quit optionality. So as a member, you have the ability to quit the DAO, the investment DAO, the venture DAO, and therefore there was no responsibility for the DAO to actually have fiduciary responsibility because of this optionality. For the purposes of taxes, this is considered a general partnership, and they brought together a few different classes of roles. And you can see the background of these individuals that definitely into the fantasy and role-playing world, but mages were some of the key members. They shared management activities like asset management and coordination and member-related activities around investments. Goblins, who are hiding in their lairs, not really doing too much, who are passive. Interestingly, they can be accredited. They have to be accredited investors. If you are not an accredited investor, you can take part in MetaCartel Ventures, but you have to be a mage. You have to be an active contributor. And summoners, who are operational delegates, and these are kind of the people who are oftentimes vendors or other folks who carry out specific actions for the DAO. Mages have to have a specific level of contribution, and there's reputation systems which are deployed to actually see whether or not they meet that threshold. And this membership, this idea of membership is constantly on. So you're both evaluated when you join MetaCartel Ventures, but also for continual membership. You're continually evaluated to whether or not you are a worthy member of MetaCartel Ventures. One thing that they mentioned in their white paper, which is really interesting, is this social coordination layer, which is how important it is to actually emphasize off-chain channels like Telegram, Zoom, in-person meetings to actually build that trust and have that discussion prior to a lot of the formal proposals. So often we think about DAOs as just being an execution of a technical smart contract, but really what this enables is like the recognition that there is a social coordination layer that needs to exist. Finally, a lot of the focus is on voting standards, both ordinary on-chain investment proposals, membership proposals, et cetera, but also extraordinary circumstances which require some off-chain coordination that I mentioned before, where you're trying to change, for example, the structure of the Grimoire or other parts of the actual operational part of MetaCartel Ventures. So if you haven't read the white paper, I think it's really fascinating. I've pasted one of the infographics that they had shared in terms of flow of funds and how proposals actually happen, but it's worth the read.